Whenever the girl is exposed to light, she instantly transforms into an old hag. The doctors present were so shocked by this sight that they were rendered speechless. Once they had time to react, they hurried to seize the girl to conduct scientific research. Terrified, the girl ran out frantically, but she accidentally bumped into a passing CEO. Seeing that the doctors were chasing after her, in desperation, she grabbed the CEO and pulled him in front of her. She used his tall body as a shield. Looking at the handsome CEO standing so close, the girl's heart began to race involuntarily, but she knew full well that now was not the time to be infatuated. After the chasing doctors brushed past her, she released the CEO and continued to run outside. Soon after, the girl, somehow, mistakenly ran into a hospital room. The moment she saw her own reflection in the mirror, the girl was instantly at a loss. She couldn't understand why she, who was once as beautiful as a blossoming flower, had suddenly turned into an old hag full of wrinkles. But at that moment, she didn't have time to dwell on it. Hearing some commotion from outside, she hurriedly jumped onto the bed and hid under the covers. However, the doctors were not fools. Upon hearing sounds coming from the supposedly empty hospital room, they immediately swarmed in and lifted the covers. To their surprise, they found that lying on the bed was a sweetly attractive young girl. Noticing that the window was open, the doctors mistakenly assumed that the girl had escaped through it. Little did they know, this young girl was the patient they had been looking for. Later, the girl went to a company for an interview. Unexpectedly, she saw the CEO she had bumped into at the hospital as soon as she entered. The girl mistakenly thought that he was there for an interview as well. So, she reached out to stop him, intending to say hello, but the CEO left coldly without saying a word. However, what caught her completely off guard was, the moment she entered the elevator, her hands began to change. Within just a few seconds, they reverted back to that of an old hag. However, the interviewees present were all young, attractive girls. They saw an old hag with wrinkles coming for the interview, and immediately approached and surrounded her, and mocked her, saying that someone of her age could never be hired. The woman angrily retorted that they were dressed too sexy and indecently, stating that this was a company, not a club. The interviewee, upon hearing this, was so angry that she dared not say another word. Meanwhile, the CEO's mother was reviewing the resumes of the interviewees, but she dismissed them after barely glancing at them, because although they appeared pretty on the surface, none of them were useful in any way. She suspected that they were all there to distract her son. When the CEO's mother approached the group, she suddenly discovered that an old hag was being bullied by a group of interviewees. Seeing the old hag's dignified demeanor, she was not only very pleased with her, but she also hired her without a second word, and thus, the girl became the CEO's personal secretary. However, the CEO's cousin could not stand her at all, and in an effort to drive her away from the CEO, the cousin secretly instructed her subordinates to install a virus on the company computers. Then, she specifically ordered the old hag to fix the computers, in an attempt to frame her and force her to resign voluntarily. Little did they know, the old hag was a highly skilled computer expert in disguise. She merely typed a few keys with ease, and the computer quickly returned to normal. Seeing this, the cousin was about to erupt in anger and start yelling, when the CEO happened to walk in. The cousin accused the newly hired old hag of infecting the computer with a virus, but to everyone's surprise, the girl easily discovered that the virus originated from a USB drive. She stated that by finding the USB drive, they could determine who had introduced the virus.